we start the program out with a bang with a very familiar face. I'm not talking about mine. I'm talking about a very talented face. Jay Paul, our director. Let's see a shot of Rich Brenner, Fox 8 sports director, famous sportscaster extraordinaire. Rich, how you doing?
Thank you. My PR people will be sending you your check in the mail on that.
Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
I grew up outside of Philadelphia, a little town called Merchantville, New Jersey, 7/10 of a square mile. So I'm used to little towns and that type of thing. But we could be in Philadelphia in less than 15 minutes over the Ben Franklin Bridge.
Oh yeah. Well, now what were you a sports nut? Did you play sports? I mean, when did the bug hit you?
I played, and I grew up across the street from a park, Wellwood Park, and it was, in those days, there were only 3 sports you played: football, basketball, and baseball, and every season was very well defined, and you'd just go to the park with your equipment for that sport. And I just grew up loving it and always wanted to be the catcher for the Phillies or the quarterback of the Eagles, and very quickly I realized that you're not good enough to do this. So
yeah,
I had an aunt that was in the newspaper business with the Courier Post, the big Gannett paper in South Jersey, and she hooked me up with some people, and they kind of mentored me along the way. Ray W. Kelly, and when I went to college, a fellow by the name of Jim Harvey and Mike Roberts, and they took very good care of me and guided me along the way.
Well, of course, you're a fixture here in the Triad area with Fox 8. As I said to you off camera, I worked with Woody Durham and Charlie Harville back in the day at FMY, and have seen a lot of great sportscasters, and you're right up there with them. And
well, thank you. It's very nice to be mentioned in the company of those gentlemen.
Sportscaster at heart, which now brings me off that pun onto the big topic of the day. And let me just say that the good folks at Dudley Products are sponsoring this segment because we're trying to do a series on healthcare issues and educating people. And in that light, let's talk about your heart. You were sort of the picture of health. You were taking care of yourself, eating right, and all of a sudden what happened?
Well, 6 days a week, working out 6 days a week. I had taken off 56 pounds. I was in really, really good shape. And then all of a sudden, at the age of 53, I found out I was having a lot of trouble sleeping at night. And you lay down and you felt like you were drowning. Well, what I was experiencing was not bronchitis like I thought I had, but rather I had heart failure, which means the heart was not pumping the way it should.
Was this a hereditary thing or what?
Yeah, it turned out to be hereditary. Doctors Ann Tyson at Carolina Cardiology, when we started going over my history, because I asked him, I said, how did I get in this mess? I said, I'm in good shape. I watch what I eat. I work out 6 days a week. And he goes, well, you were born. I said, well, what do you mean by that? He goes, you can't choose your mother and father. You can't pick your gene pool. And he said, as we've gone over your gene pool, he said, your father has heart disease, your grandfather had heart disease, aunts and uncles on both sides of your family had heart disease. You got it.
That's scary to think that you were taking care of yourself and then that happened. What was going through your mind when you heard the news?
Well, it was
because you had a lot of blockage and stuff.
Well, yeah, it was very shocking because I was on the table when I was getting the echocardiogram, and I heard the nurses saying he's very weak. He's very weak, and nobody has ever used those terms to describe me. He's very weak.
Right.
And I'm going, what's going on here? And then when I started asking questions, they said, well, your heart's functioning at about 20% capacity. And so I agreed with them.
Yeah. Now you have your friend, your personal friend, is the defibrillator, right?
Yes. I like to say I have a paramedic in my chest. It's about the size of a Zippo cigarette lighter.
Right.
And in fact, I've actually had it swapped out. I was the first one in North Carolina to get the new Medtronic model this past June.
Good.
And it's about 15% smaller than the original one I had. The battery lasted 5 years, which is just right. And the new one, the battery will last 8 years, which is good.
Now, does it slow you up any? You look great. I mean, are you going 110%?
Not at all. In fact, what it does is it really gives you the confidence that I have a lot of people call me. And in fact, there was a nice article on the Greensboro News and Record back in February, and I got a call the next day from a lady that her doctor had said get a defibrillator, and she didn't want to get one. She was scared of it. I said, no, embrace the technology. This is what we live for. We live to make things better for the next generation, and this will make your life better.
And in the few seconds we have left, could you give your personal statement to the folks at home about what they need to do if they say, I feel okay, I don't have a problem?
Just know your family history. And when your doctor says something to you, listen to them, be very serious. And when you're told you have high blood pressure, despite which I was, and I ignored it in quite a bit, when you're told you have high blood pressure and you're feeling great, take it very, very seriously.
Rich Brenner, and we see this logo for Dudley with a big Q in there. Quality people, quality education that you're trying to put forward. Great sponsor for helping to bring these health education segments. I'm going to stretch this about 2 extra seconds. Quickly, in 5 seconds, what's this all about that you do this with your hands? How did that get started?
I'm just demonstrative, that's all.
You're a monster? No, you're demonstrative.
People might say I'm a monster,
okay.
too. Just demonstrative. I speak
my
with
wife,
my hands.
my wife Pam says hello.
Good. My best to Pam.
Rich Brenner, thanks for coming.
Thank you.